Hey guys, JJ back here. This time to chat on Memphis versus Houston. Seeing the total at 147.5, and right now I'm seeing Memphis getting 7.5. I want to ask you guys a question and want you to think honestly about it. What were the best wins you've had since following this channel? Now, I'm pretty confident most of you guys will say that the best wins you've had were the most recent two. Now, it's kind of unfair a bit because these are the freshest in your mind. But I will tell you, these are the most critical to you because they came after feeling the pain of a few losses before them. In this industry, you can never truly appreciate the wins if they keep rolling in. You need to lose a few games before you can truly appreciate the wins. This can also be said in life, by the way, as well. Without a little adversity, how can you truly enjoy the fruits of success? Regardless, the channel is up to 18-7 against the spread with the two most recent wins of Kansas and Memphis. Okay, so the game in question here, Memphis hosts Houston in their building, where, as I mentioned in the previous video that I gave you, where I gave out Memphis against UCF, they've only lost twice here all year. This line opens at 7.5 and will most likely go up in the direction of Houston because plenty of money would be expected to come in there. I feel like, first of all, the public has been practically blindly betting favorites throughout without care or concern for how big the number's been getting. So with that in mind, I do believe this line's going to go up. There have been a lot of favorites that have been covering anyway, so maybe there's some justification behind it, why that keeps happening among many favorites. But, public's going to most likely bring this number up, but it does currently sit at 7.5. Now, Houston actually hosted Memphis in their own building earlier in the year, wound up being a 13-point win for the Cougs. But they have not played Memphis in Memphis's building yet this year. I mentioned on the video yesterday that this Memphis team, has the makeup to run the table in this tournament. It just need a few extra things to go their way. And now they only need 2 more wins. Again, they are hosting this entire tournament in their building. Plenty to play for because they are not dancing without winning this tournament. They came out and just smoked UCF as a home underdog. I felt like in that second half, you knew right from the jump of that second half that Memphis just blew the doors right off that game. I mean, they started out a little slow in the game, but they went on a few runs and then just completely in the driver's seat the rest of the way. Now we are getting a really big number here at 7.5. But again, if you wait and sit on it, I do expect this to go up. Now Houston is the much better team, but I always like to stress the timing and the subjective motivation portion of handicapping. Often on this channel, if you actually watched the UCF Memphis game, I know it was at 2:30 Eastern, but if you actually watched it, Memphis just wanted that win so much more. So many loose balls, so many offensive rebounds, so many forced turnovers, so much drawing of contact in the lanes. Look, I can't predict if Houston will outmatch them in motivation, but man, I'll tell you, Memphis looks so good offensively and defensively against a really good team in UCF. So for how these two specifically match up together, Houston is top 20 in both offensive and defensive efficiency, both which are much better numbers than Memphis. Houston has a huge edge on the glass and is the #1 team in effective field goal percentage defense. I can give you every stat under the sun for how much better Houston is than Memphis. But at the end of the day, Memphis is creating themselves a potential Cinderella story here of sorts. At a minimum, the pace of Memphis will be somewhat of a reality check to Houston, as this is not a common pace they are accustomed to seeing. And Memphis is 10th in the country in pace of play. They are very quickly offensively. So I would expect Houston to have the occasional issues settling in defensively as they typically need to in their half court. Also, Houston can be quite handsy with the foul, so expect Memphis to find their way to the free throw line often in tomorrow's game. Look, at the end of the day, guys, Houston has been the big dick in the American Conference all year long. But here's what we're getting with Memphis. We're getting a team that has lost 1 game since February 20th, a team that hasn't lost a game by more than 6 points since January 30th, a team that has 2 losses all year at home and has played tremendously offensively and defensively to start this tournament in their first 2 games. Again, this tournament is in their own building. They need this win and 1 more to punch a ticket into the brackets to start dancing. And they are playing like their life depends on it. I'm not saying Memphis will win straight up here, but I really like this number of 7.5, and I do believe if you wait on it, you can even get bigger. So again, guys, give me all the 7.5 with Memphis versus Houston here. Really favorable spot, really favorable number. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch the video. I know we're on a nice little two game winning streak here. Please, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And look, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and And also drop some comments below. I like to see some of the other comments that I got from the recent videos about other picks you guys wanted to make. Definitely interested in those as well. I know that the slates are getting tighter, and people want to bet more or less different games now. With some of these high fledge games that are coming on. So feel free to drop any comments below if you want any of my leans for any of it. I'll be happy to respond. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.